Has Paul Thomas Anderson done it again, or do we somehow live in a reality in which he suddenly became bad out of nowhere? Welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. I am Dalton Burdett with the amazing Nick Iricchio. Nick, how are you, my friend?
I'm feeling battled.
Battled. Thank you.
Battled.
Thank you.
If it's not one battle, it's another. Am I right?
Fucking A, buddy. Fucking A. That is true. That is true. Guys, obviously we're here to talk about one battle after another. This is the latest film from Paul Thomas Anderson, and it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, Chase Infiniti, Sean Penn, Tiana Taylor, and let's not bury the lead on this one, Nick. This movie is fucking awesome. This movie is so good. In contention for the best movie of the year, in my opinion. Literally, my top three movies of the year so far are Sinners, this, and Life of Chuck. And I know Life of Chuck is third. I don't know what the other two are. I'm still kind of figuring it out, how I feel about them. But it's just a moment where this movie is about 2 hours and 45 minutes long. And I did not feel it at all. Like, it's paced phenomenally. There is a chase sequence towards the end of this movie that is so fucking good. It's an all-time great. It's an all-time great chase sequence. It's shot way differently from any chase sequence I had seen. The tension was real. The score is incredible. Obviously, the script and direction are amazing from Paul Thomas Anderson. That's no surprise. Sean Penn is most definitely going to get an Oscar nomination, I think. If I have to eat my words on that, I will take it because he's that good in the film. He completely disappears in that role. But all the performances, Leonardo DiCaprio, Chase Infiniti, Benicio del Toro, all amazing. The movie somehow balances humor in a very interesting way where I was belly laughing several times in a movie that you didn't, if I told you what it was about, you wouldn't think I'd be laughing at all. And, it takes really complex themes, puts them in a very digestible story, and just puts the audience on a hell of a fucking ride. Amazing, phenomenal, loved it. Top movie of the year, in contention for number one of the year. Nick, I'm throwing it over to you. What did you think of it?
No, I agree. While you were talking, I looked at my top three list, and it's exactly the same. So,
Hey, there
a
you
lot of great
go.
movies going on this year. No, I didn't know what to expect going into it, honestly. And I personally, I loved it. I thought it was just an incredible piece of filmmaking, just an incredible movie. I'm not a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan typically. I thought he was fantastic in this. When he leans into his comedy chops, I mean, he is a wonderfully gifted comedic actor, I think. And you just have this absolutely stacked cast for this to be Chase Infinity's first like major movie role. Like, holy crap, that girl's going places.
Yeah,
And
crazy.
just an overall wonderful. DiCaprio's great in the lead as well. And the supporting cast, though, I thought was really the standout. Teyana Taylor did a great job. Regina Hall had a very small
Mm.
role in it, but like to me, maybe one of the more impactful supporting performances in the movie. Benicio del Toro and his "few small beers" line is instantly iconic, and just the way they utilize his character in a juxtaposition to Leonardo DiCaprio's characterization was very interesting, very well done. Their dynamic was awesome. But I agree with what you said. I think Sean Penn not only is I think he's going to be nominated for an Oscar. I would be shocked if he doesn't walk home with it. To me, Stephen Lockjaw goes down as just immediately one of the best like movie villains
Mm-hmm.
just across the board. It's just a vile, disgusting human being of a performance, and
Mm-hmm.
Sean Penn's disdain toward the people that he's trying to be playing just comes through. Like, I've never seen a performance rooted in such anger and resentment toward a group of individuals.
Yeah.
And the character work and mannerisms that he's pulling out, I thought I was very impressed by. And going into, like you said, this chase scene in the third act, like I was levitating in the seat. I was on the edge of the seat as I was levitating on the edge. Yeah, it was just excellent filmmaking. I really cannot think of many negative things to say about the movie. I know it's not fun when we're just being overly positive, but some light pacing issues, but it wasn't an issue for me. Like, I was invested the full time there.
Yeah,
And
no,
there's a
like,
Steely Dan needle drop, which that's any way to instantly win me over.
I'm with you though. Like, I have to really dig deep. Like, if I was gonna find negatives on the movie, I'd have to really, really dig deep to like nitpicky things about how they portray some things in the story. But like, other than that, I have no issue. Like, it's just one of those things where you're watching it and you're like, oh, this could be an issue, and then it ties into something later. You're like, ah, not an issue, and it just
Like
keeps
if the movie
happening.
was bad and then you get nitpicky, that's fine. But the movie's
Yeah,
just so good that I feel bad nitpicking it.
no, 100%, 100%. And by the way, we're also a big fan of just movie character names of movie characters. As soon as they said the guy's name was Stephen Lockjaw, I was like, oh, we're in for an all timer. Like this is gonna be something. Something
I
else
don't
I
know.
like.
Sensei Sergio, what was it? Sensei Sergio St. Carlos is a
Yeah.
pretty amazing name too from Benicio del Toro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And um, Benicio del Toro's one-liners in this are fantastic. I don't want to spoil too many of them, but I also think that going just more in depth in terms of like the themes the movie is exploring, it's obviously has a lot of political stuff going on in the movie, and I know that could turn some people off, but I would say it's no different than movies can be about anything, and I feel like if you're someone who agrees with the politics of the lead characters, then obviously you're going to have a better, a more accessible experience to it. But the movie, what I love about it is that it doesn't look at those characters that it's portraying and saying they're doing everything correctly. It actually goes quite far into saying how they are not doing things correctly. And I think a beautiful, subtle way of doing that was showing how Benicio del Toro's character was doing things and being like, oh, this kind of feels more correct in a way, like than what
Yeah.
the lead group of the French 75 were doing. And it portrays their actions as obviously not how you should do things. But at the same time, it really gets into nitpicks of that side of the political spectrum of what people deem to be important versus what's not. And they do that through phone conversations of Leonardo DiCaprio and someone who refuses to give him access when he's trying to speak in the code but can't remember. And it leads to some of the hardest laughs I've had in a movie this year. It was unbelievable. And, the criticism it does on the other side of the political spectrum, what I really enjoyed about it is it goes into not the jobs or the actions of these characters, but it's the why and the motivation. And when you get to Stephen Lockjaw's motivation, when Nick said like, "Oh, this is just a disgusting, despicable human being," I'm not going to give it away. But as soon as you figure out, the mysteries of the Christmas Adventurers Club, you're like, "Oh, got it." And this is just miserable. And I think the movie having the goal to kind of just in this climate that we're in, just be like, we're going to tell a story like this and do it in a way that's so fantastic, so down to earth, but also reflecting our world while being its own world and building its own world, I thought was genius and incredibly well done.
No, I agree. When we talk about things like you mentioned, the Christmas Adventurers Club and everything like that, and what that represents, when you get into the political commentary that it's doing, a lot of times it is very weird and grand and over the top in a way, but it's so laser focused in its criticism, in its critiques of what it is trying to
Mm-hmm.
either be satirical or either be commenting on, and it's kind of wrapped around this joke. But when you actually peel back that first layer, there's something very nuanced in the zaniness of what they're doing. And to me, that was when the movie was kind of the strongest. Like that's when I thought it was firing on all cylinders.
100%. And I saw this really great thing online. I can't remember who said it, but didn't come from me. But it basically said that this movie is the spiritual antithesis to Eddington. And basically what it was saying is Eddington is also a very politically charged movie that goes into criticisms, on both sides in different ways and different hows. But the end of that movie is basically saying like, and there's no hope and it's only going to get worse. And this movie is the similar, but the end message is there is hope and the next generation is going to do better. And it's like that. I was like, oh, that is an interesting comparison when you think about it in that way. I mean, they're very different fucking movies, but like I did think it was interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, there's that level of parody and satirization between both of them there. But I do think one is political and one's about politics, and I think that's where the big
That is a great
do
way of
lie
saying
in it.
that. Great way of
I
saying
think
that.
that's where that separates. But I do get the comparisons because there's really nothing like either of those movies.
Correct.
Like, even before this came out, you can't compare Eddington to anything. So I guess if you're grasping, that could be the closest comparison. But I think they approach subjects in a very different way, like you said.
100%. 100%. I could go on talking about how amazing this movie is all day. It's an easy 5-star movie for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think I landed like 4.5, 5 stars. That's where I'm at. I think, and it's the same thing with Sinners. I gave Sinners 4.5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
This is really, we're coming into rewatch territory. You know,
Yeah.
like once I rewatch it, I know it's not going lower, so I wanted to give it that
Mm-hmm.
room to go up to really solidify my feelings.
Yeah. No, I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. But guys, have you seen One Battle After Another, and what did you think about it? I'd love to see your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.